I can't share the whole screen, but I'm going to share it.
It's okay,
and I
ma'am.
hope you can see.
It's clear,
Okay.
ma'am. It's okay, no problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I will be talking about, can we the definition of creativity? Can we define creativity? Is it important in teaching and learning? We'll find what some researchers say on creativity and the learner as a creative resource, using the English course book creatively, what some students think about creativity, how do I use creativity in my classroom, and then we'll end with that question, is creativity really beautiful in the classroom? Because my topic is about the beauty of creativity in the classroom, from teacher to learner. So today we'll find out if this is true. Now I have from Britannica, the encyclopedia or dictionary. This is a definition of creativity. Creativity is the ability to make or otherwise bring into existence something new, whether a new solution to a problem, a new method or device, or a new artistic object or form. Now, I have a question for you. I can't use the Mentimeter because I made it 2 weeks ago, so it's not working. So what I'm going to ask you, I'm going to ask all the participants, can you tell me what is creativity for you? You can write it in the chat.
Yeah, we request all the valued participants to write the answer related to what is creativity in chat box.
Let's say we gave you 2 minutes.
Okay. Good. I'll be looking in the chat box and I'll be reading their responses too.
Thank you.
So kindly you can write the things in chat box. Yeah, making something new, imagination from Dora Law. From Tika Kharkat, thinking out of box is creativity. So creativity means innovative, innovation, own ideas, ability to express yourself freely, being unique. Creativity is a way of an imagination and bring something new, making a new form as it is, innovative ideas, original ideas, the use of imagination or original ideas to create something. Okay, original ideas. So these are an innovation involving and implementing, and even creativity is art. Creativity is making what is distorted beautiful. So there's so many ideas that we can get here in the chat box too from the valid participant. Applying thinking skills. Okay.
But thank you very much for the participation. It's so beautiful, so many ideas. Thank you so much. I have another question for you. It's about teachers' creativity, or let's say teachers' curriculum. I have not put it here. This statement, a successful teacher is the one who always completes the curriculum, not the one who is creative in the classroom. Do you agree with this statement? If yes, you give a reason. If no, also you give a reason in the chat box. Thank you.
Yes, so dear valued participant, you can write your answer in chat box. So I'll be reading here. So if yes or no, say why. Even you'll be writing about why, the reason behind that.
Madam has asked for the reason as well.
Yes, yes. Someone says no.
Yeah,
Binod, yeah. Can you tell me? Can you tell us why? Why you say no?
Yeah, here Innocent Dazan has written no. You may complete the curriculum, but if the student did not understand, what have you done? So Taruna ma'am has written no. Creativity is very important. Binod sir has written no because completing the curriculum is not enough. And completing the curriculum with creativity Delfino has written, no, because the student have to master the topics taught. And Fabiola has written, both are important. And Gangaram sir has written, the situation depends on how a teacher completes his or her course, being creative or not. From Damar sir, no, we need to develop student creativity. From Binod sir again, the student must learn. And this all. Thank you. Oh, and one more from Rajkumar sir. No, because completing a curriculum is not enough, but creation is an important thing for the learners. Someone has written here, no, creativity is synonymous with better understanding. You can't just complete the curriculum like a parrot. You have to differentiate. And Tika sir has written, no, just completing the curriculum is not the ultimate goal of teacher. Rather, he or she has to have the student learn something. So thank you all valued participants for your answer related to Brinda ma'am question.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. There are some more. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. Yes. There is a book, Creativity in the English Language Classroom, and this book has really inspired me. And this is why I've got the title for my topic today. And this book was published in 2015. It's almost more than 5 years. But for me, it's so like current. You can use it now. You can always use it. And so it was edited by Alan Malley and Nick Piche. So in this free downloadable book, so it's downloadable and it's free, you will discover how teachers apply creativity in their lessons. So today I will focus on the learner as a creative resource by Marjorie Rosenberg and challenging teachers to use their books creatively by Brian Tomlinson. I mean their course books. Now, we are going to first, as I said in my plan, what researchers say. We are going to talk now what the researchers, the experts say. So again, this is all from the book. So Robinson, 2001. He says you have to complete a curriculum. But the curriculum, if you see, we always add to it. And the deadline, it just gets squeezed. It becomes shorter. I think you all agree with me because this is what's happening. And then we have too much focus on objectives and lesser focus on more important, broader educational aims. And we always have that now, quick result theory. We have always to have quick results, but we know that we cannot have quick results. We need time. The students need time. This is how now it becomes the top priority, but the result is damaging. And again, another top priority is on testing and measurement. We do too much testing and too much measurement. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Now, there is Campbell and, sorry, I hope that I pronounce this name correctly. Chris Ziuska, 1992. Again, I'll say this source is from the book. Creativity is for all. Equality in creativity. Then we also should have a disciplined creativity. What I mean by discipline, because when we create, we can be wild, but we are in a class, but still we have to be disciplined. We have to do it within constraints. And then we should never forget this. Human beings, we are our most important resource. So our students, they are our most important resource. And then there should be the trust between the teacher and the students. Now, I made some research about Campbell and Krijuska. They have written a book entitled Learner-Based Teaching in 1994, 92 or 1994. This is what I like. It's the command. It says student-generated materials to foster learners' independence. This is great. And let's go to the next slide. Now there is another researcher, Steve Vick, in 1980. He says, change the definition of a teacher. We as teachers, we should be part of the class. Do what you tell your students to do. Mime, sing, dance, paint, write a story or poem, even if you don't do it well. When you also have to judge creatively in classroom by how and what teacher does to make it possible for learner. Then the learner can express himself or herself. Now, I made also a little research about this author, this researcher, Steve Vick. He has written a book entitled Working with Teaching Methods, What's at Stake? It is about the language learning process and fresh approaches of that process. He focuses on 3 teaching methods. Now you have Greenfield, 2014. He says, creativity is all about recreating, rethinking, rebuilding the old ways. Now, this researcher, I've just put his name so that I can pronounce it, Csikszentmihalyi, 1998. He said it's a storied class. There is flow in creativity, the effortless effort. And his research is named a psychological concept of flow. This is where you have a highly focused mental state conducive to productivity. So important in our classes. Now, Carter, 2003, he says, we should have linguistic creativity. It's an exceptional property for all people. In this way, the students of who they are and what they have. Students are themselves. Learning becomes more effective. Now, this is what I've chosen a teacher or a writer from the book, Miss Rosenberg, and the topic is the learner as a creative resource. So she says, each of our class with a unique set of values, experiences, ideas, and thoughts, and a wealth of knowledge waiting to be tapped. For this reason, making use of the learner as a creativity resource not only makes sense, but also provides teachers with an unending source of material to develop and nurture both inside and outside the classroom. Then we need to also give space to the learner. The teacher can encourage risk-taking and the joy of play, 2 factors which can help learners to discover their own strategies to learn a language and enjoy the process. And we know that sometimes we teachers, what we do, we like always to be there to guide the student. We don't like to give the space to the student. We like to talk and tell the student what to do. But sometimes when we just back off and just observe, it really, the class is different. Now also, she said, the teacher can be a facilitator. And in this way, a new type of learning happens. Learners express their ideas without feeling unsafe. They experiment with a new language. They also begin to like and enjoy it. And now there are different activities that the author present. And what's good with this, they do not need any preparation, because sometimes it happens that there are in certain places you don't have many resources, but I like it because you can adapt, you can use it. Anybody anywhere else, any teacher from any part of the world can do this. So I've chosen some like some activities like using art in the classroom. She said that you can use the masters like Rubens, but also from our branches, our context, our country. We can also choose local masters or painters from our country. And there, this is how we do. We look for paintings of scenes and people. And from there, we can do a lesson. And then, you know, I've not give, because the book is available. You can download it. There are everything in there. So you can just go and see the planner and see everything. And also there is something she suggests, she said, you building a machine. Have learners work together to think of an unusual machine, encourage them to use their bodies to create movement and a process. This is afterwards. Then you have to divide the class in groups. Now there are also circle phases. You come up with a creative story about a fictional character based on a drawing created cooperatively. The students should think of a name, come up with a story about how they met the person, I mean that character, what the person likes and dislikes, what they are good or bad at doing, and add something that most people do not know about the person. Now, conclusion or reflection. So what we can say, one of the joys of teaching is suddenly coming up with a new way to present a concept and realizing that our learners have now gained a new perspective on it. Okay, I'm going to for the second topic that I chose from the book and by Brian Tomlinson, challenging teachers to use their course book creatively. And this is very, I think all of us, most of us use course books, textbooks, and this is so important. We should use the course book as a resource, he says, not as a script. We should adapt course book to foster creativity. Something that teachers can try, adapt a course book lesson for your learners, change closed activities to open ones. Now, I've chosen two examples of like modified activities, like suppose this is an activity, an instruction. What are the comparatives and superlatives of the adjectives in the table? So we can change it to, in pairs, find examples of words which are comparing things in the passage on X page and in the transcripts of 2.15 and 2.16 on page Y. So then also there are P activities. Because we know that when we give children, our students, reading comprehension, sometimes it's very boring. And especially when they are in the course book, because sometimes the course book, they come from another country and in your local context, it doesn't fit. So we can turn topics of comprehension from a robbery in a small mall in New York into a robbery in a supermarket in your town or locality. And also what students can do, they can decide what activities to use with text from their textbooks. So it's those students who are doing the planner. So this is great. And I think students, if they have this kind of classes, I think they would want to come to school 7 days a week. Now, the conclusion or reflection. Teachers are encouraged to design principal learning experiences for their students. Again, I'm saying that I'm going to share the link with Mr. Sujit afterwards, where you can have, this is a treasure. This is such a beautiful book. And really, I've just fallen in love with this book again and again. And as I said, it's free. You have so many things that you can use and reuse and adapt. Now, I have asked some of my students what they think about creativity. So I have 3 of them. So one is from grade 8. He's a boy, he's 14. I asked him what is creativity. So these are his answers. I've not changed anything. I'm going just to read what he said. He said, technologies create new things, like you cut a bottle and make it into a pot. But for him, because you see in Mauritius, in our public schools, it's very exam-based, and we have textbooks, class books, course books. So it's all about exams. It's all about learning, sometimes learning like a parrot. I don't say there's no creativity, but they have to. And our students from generation to generation is like this. So they come with this idea, you have to pass that exam, you have to learn, you have to do composition, essays, this way. So that's why the student said there's no creativity. He doesn't support creativity in class. But for him, creativity is when teacher helps him with difficult questions. When the teacher makes the lesson better by helping the student. And he says that creativity is when you use your own mind, your own ideas. And he is talking about a subject he does in design and technology. There is creativity. What he does things with object, with wood and other materials. Now from a grade 11 student, she's a girl, she's 17. She says, there is no creativity in the class. It will be entertaining to join a creative class. And she said there are times some teachers she has seen, they have tried to identify themselves in the topic they're explaining to the students. And in this way, there is a kind of friendship. And then something she said, that she has got one creative teacher who does theater. And this teacher gives you interesting topics about life that school does not teach us. And so what we can say, this is her conclusion, we can express ourselves freely, but it depends on what we are talking about, because sometimes there are topics that could offend others. Now, this is from another student, a girl from grade 9, she's 15. For her, creativity is necessary or the class would be boring. Where do you see creativity? You can see that pattern when you have already done your work. So for her, creativity during a lesson is not possible. So when you have already done your work, then you can do something creative. So like afterwards, after doing the lesson, you have some free time, then you can do educational games proposed by students during the free time. It can be a game related to grammar. Because when I was talking to her, she just told me about a game that they have done, like spontaneously. She then also invent grammar games on the spot to play during their free time. Okay, now for the question, how I, as a teacher, use creativity in my classroom. So I adapt the worksheets when necessary. And I create different worksheets depending on students' needs. And I use different methods and approaches. And I'm adaptable as a teacher and as a person. It's very hard, but worth it to be creative, to adapt, to change, to really, it's worth it. Maybe I say, if I was not myself, I was not a writer and a poet, I would have used a course book as a script because I can understand. So if you are not, because as I say, I have to be creative or else I can't work. Or I can put it like, if I don't create, I die. In my work, I have to create. So that's why it's, for me, it's not something I have to create when as a teacher. And also I do participate in the task or activity. Now, to end, I'll say, is creativity really beautiful in the classroom? But in all the answers from all the participants, and thank you again, Mr. Sujit, for reading the answers. So I can see that there is teachers really believe in creativity, but the reality, we have a curriculum and we have got a system, an educational system, and we can't avoid this. This is it's very practical. We have to live with it, and we have to adapt. If we have to adapt our course book. We can't change it. We have to live with that reality. But